Welcome back, guys. We are going to go over a mobility assessment for your body. Now, keep in mind when we're talking about mobility, we can't just address these areas, but this is a good place to start because these certain areas can relate to other places where you're having pain. So for example, if your upper back is restricted, it might be related to what's happening at the low back, the shoulders, or even the neck. So it's so important to start to assess and start to get in touch with your body so that you know where you need to go down the road. Now, I do want to just point out my amazing, incredible outfit, especially when I'm at home or if I go to the gym. Whatever I like to do, I like to make sure that I feel good, I feel bright, and I am feeling supported in my workout gear. I think that's the number one thing. We want good material that's not extremely expensive. So I gotta say, this is from Fabletics. I get questions constantly about where I get my workout outfits, where the bright colors are coming from, and I just need to let you know that this is a Fabletics sponsored video because I just love them and I'm so in line with what they promote, the women that they represent, and the messaging behind the clothes, besides the fact that it is extremely affordable. I mean, when you sign up for VIP, you get 2 pairs of leggings for 24 bucks. That's like the best deal I've ever seen. And for the quality that you get for these outfits, it's just incredible. Okay, let's get back into your body, yeah? So we're gonna go over 4 mobility assessments: the shoulders, the upper back, the hips, and the ankles. These are my main places that I like to guide people into, but keep in mind, I have a whole 23 movement assessment in my mobility method. So this is just tapping on what you can start with to get an idea of what's happening in the body. Okay, let's dive in. First one I'm gonna start with is my shoulders. So if I lay on the ground, this is just a quick assessment again. So I'm going to have my elbows out at about 90 degrees because this is a pretty functional position that most people should be able to get into. What I want to check is internal and external rotation. So how is the mobility deep into the joint in my capsule moving? Okay, so with my elbows out at 90 degrees, I'm just going to drop my arms back and check how my external rotation is going. If I can get comfortably back without feeling like I need to pop up my rib cage or my chest, and I'm not feeling like I'm struggling to really get it back, this is passive range of motion. So it should be able to drop. It should feel like it can go past the floor, right? So if I was on a bed or a table, it would feel like it was going past the floor. The opposite direction, okay? So we want about 90 degrees of external rotation. We want about 70 to 80 degrees of internal rotation. So now again, with my elbows out the side, I'm going to then passively drop down and check how much internal rotation I have. Now, as you can tell, my left hand goes a lot lower than my right hand. Ooh, I have mobility restrictions as well. Here's the thing. A lot of people like to cheat this one. Either the elbows will come down or the shoulders will pop up. This is cheating. That shoulder blade is a part of the ball and socket. So when it starts to move and go with your arm, you're actually cheating that range and you don't necessarily have it. So the goal, keep those elbows at 90, keep that shoulder blade down, see how much passive range of motion that you have truly in the shoulder. I have maybe 50 to 60, maybe 50. 60 might be pushing it. The goal is 70 to 80 degrees. So think of from 0 to 90 and where that falls in between. We want to closer to 90 with internal rotation. And when we're limited in internal or external rotation in the shoulder, that's where it can start to limit you even reaching overhead or reaching behind you or doing these different things that we don't even think about. So it's not just about the muscles, it's deeper into the joint. Okay, let's check that rotation in your upper back. So again, it's not just about extension, it's actually about rotation as well. So I'm gonna have you come into a child's pose position because that's gonna kind of lock out the low back here. With my elbows right in front of me, I'm gonna try not to cheat, so no coming out to the side. One hand behind the head, and you rotate up to the ceiling as much as possible. Okay, and then coming right back down. You wanna try to see, can I see the ceiling without popping out to the side or rotating or cheating or coming up, okay? So again, with the other side, I got a good load of hair in front of me instead of seeing the ceiling. But what that shows you is that, oh, is one side feeling more open than the other? That's an indication of one side being tighter than the other. So you just did a whole little self-assessment. You get to see what side is tighter and work on the other one. It's that simple. Now, you can tell also how the body starts to work together. Now, obviously, I'm more restricted on my right side with the rotation. I was also more restricted on the right side with shoulder internal rotation. Something to start to think about how the body works together in that way. Now let's talk about the hips. So this is one of my favorite because it is so related to the low back pain, knee pain, all these different things, and you can check it so easily in this hip 90-90 position. So 90 degrees in the front leg, 90 degrees between the legs, and 90 degrees in the back leg. So no funny business out here, just 90-90-90. And we're not stretching, all we're doing is we're going into it and we're observing. So as I'm just sitting here, you can see that my knee starts to pop up. So this means I'm restricted in hip external range of motion. If the knee flops down when you come into this position, you're probably not restricted in external range of motion. But if you have trouble, if you come into this seated position and your bottom doesn't naturally start to come toward the floor and you feel like, whoa, that's a crazy position, I need to lean away from it, that could indicate a restriction in hip internal rotation. Then we would check it the other way as well. Again, hip 90-90-90, kind of seeing, does my knee fall to the floor, which obviously this right side, it comes down more, so I don't have as much restriction in external range of motion on my right side. So there will be differences side to side. That's something that you get to check and observe yourself. All right, last little check is ankle dorsiflexion. So I'm gonna use a chair so that I can use kind of a straighter line. This is obviously a little bit curved, but we're gonna pretend like it's a straight line. But you can use a wall, you can use anything else that you can kind of come up against that you can measure against, okay? So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my foot about 4 to 5 inches away from the chair. So no cheating this one. This is not 4 to 5 inches, okay? So get that foot about 4 to 5 inches away. And I'm gonna trust you that you're gonna check it correctly, okay? Here's some things to look out for. So what the goal here is that my knee can touch this chair. Ah, I can't quite touch. My heel is already starting to come up. Whew. So I would come a little closer. Okay, when can I touch? Okay, there, about 3 inches. There, not quite. So I am limited. You want about 4 to 5 inches over that toe to have functional working ankles. This could mean restriction in the back, it can mean restriction in the ankle. All you're measuring right now is just seeing how it's working. The goal is that as you come forward, you don't want to cheat by pushing your hip out to the side, because as I push my hip out to the side, I actually rotate my knee on the inside of my toe. This is not functional range, right? Because as I squat or I do other things, I don't want my knee to go on the inside of my toe. So a true measurement then is with my knee completely straight forward, okay? And my ankle isn't my heel isn't lifting off the ground, okay? Those are just some little tips that you want to continue to be mindful of and looking into your body. Now, continue to come back to these. Continue to learn what exercises that you need for your own individual body. It is so important to build this awareness within your body so that you know what you need for you. You are unique, you are individual, and this is why a part of my membership with the Optimal Body, I have flows for every single part of the body: upper extremity, spine, lower extremity, and full body mobility flows, so that you can continue to assess what you need within your body and continue to find the exercises that will actually help you to open up, to relieve restrictions, and ultimately to relieve the pain above and below those restrictions. Remember, it's not just about that pain point, it's about what's happening around the body. And remember, you can get the most adorable clothes from Fabletics so that as you're moving through these restrictions and assessing your body and feeling good, you're also looking good. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying it. Don't forget to like and comment below to let me know what you think, and subscribe so you don't miss any in the future.